Hey, girl. Welcome in, friend. Welcome to what is this? Episode 13? Episode 13 of Conquer Conversations. And friend, it is the first time that we have the new background. We've got the new wall. We've got the mic off Amazon. It's giving real YouTuber, okay? Especially if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, or somebody else. I hope that this mic is better for you. So, what's up, girl? Welcome to Conquer Conversations, where we talk about real women conquering big dreams. Today is going to be short. I have started doing a live show, and today is day 7. And let me slow down for a second, girl. I am in a season, and I've been saying this on my live. Hopefully, you've been tuning into the live show, the Wake Up and Conquer show. I've been doing it every weekday. So, a couple of months ago, I found myself really disconnected from the core of my business, trying to figure out what was going on. And I found myself doing gig work. I found myself applying to jobs. I found myself back at work, and none of it worked out for me. So, it's just one of those moments where God is like, hey, I told you to be over here, and you way over there. And so now I find myself here it is a couple of months later at the beginning of April, and the business is doing its thing. And it's not because of luck, but it's because I truly had to lean in like I've never leaned in before. So this week will be short and sweet. I want to talk about some of the mindset shifts that I even had to have in my life, in my business. And I want to know if you can relate to this, okay? So I started doing the live show just last week. Today was just day 7 of the show. And I guess I want to talk about this idea of, success can really trick you. For me, success tricked me because I felt like I had got to a place where I really arrived. And I thought that that meant leaning out of the business because I thought these people know me, they like me, they've seen me, I've got the customers, I've done the content, I've done the lives in the past, I've done all of the things. Why ain't my business just rolling in money? That's what I'm thinking at the time. It sounds crazy to look back at it, but that's just how I was thinking at the time. But now I'm seeing, in hindsight is 2020, that as we get more success, we actually have to lean in a lot more. And I think that because of one of the core reasons why I even want to be an entrepreneur, which is flexibility and freedom, because I want a family, I want to do all of the things, right? I'm thinking, well, I need flexibility and freedom, so I shouldn't be having to lean into my business that much. That means I'm doing too much, I'm working too hard, something. But the reality is, once I get to a certain level, I must lean in like never before. So this will be a short and sweet episode. But again, I want to talk about the mindset shifts when we're experiencing success. Because sometimes I'll have success and I'll be like, whoo, that feel good. All right, time to go binge watch some shows for about 5 days. Made a couple of $1,000. All right, now, no more content for me. I'm out of there. I'm good for a minute. But those are the moments where I should lean in even more. What's shifting in my mind? I want to know, have you ever had a season of your business where you're like, whoa, I can kind of take my hands off of that and your business was like, actually, I need you to touch that every day. Couple of things that I learned. Number one was that my audience was waiting on me. You know, it's so easy once you start doing content and you get used to seeing people comment and you get used to all of the things that come with it. I didn't know if I was really understanding how much my audience was craving more. And I want you to think about if you're in a season where, which if you listen to this, you probably likely are in a season where your audience is truly waiting for more. They want more interactions. They want more lives. They want more videos. I don't know. That was the case for me. I'm just sharing with you. And I said this on the show. I talked about this idea of like having your favorite creator. I know like one of my favorite creators, especially on platforms like YouTube, I'm thrilled if they upload a video every day. Oh my God. It's one show I watch. It's two YouTube. It's a couple of YouTube channels that I'm pretty addicted to. Like when they drop a new video, I'm on it. Uh, one is really educational and it's helping me with the business. Hello, shout out to Miss Ashley Kirkwood. I really enjoyed her content. And if you haven't heard of her, maybe you want to look her up. Ashley Kirkwood. Her YouTube channel is the Ashley Nicole Show. And I've also been watching some really messy YouTube videos, but shout out to the YouTube videos that keep us entertained. Ain't got nothing to do with business. This type of YouTube video, I sit around with my wine. My friend put me on the Hopeless Romantic Society. Girl, now you better be ready to lean back in your chair and laugh until you the little piece slide down the side of your thigh because it's hilarious. But when I think about those channels like that I love, those creators that I love, I don't look at them and say, "Oh, sure wish they put out less content." If anything, I love getting on my YouTube in the morning and refresh it, and they just did a video 2 hours ago. I love it. And what I had to realize was that that was my audience with me. They wanted more, were waiting for more. And so I'm so glad and so proud that I'm stepping into a season where I can really tell my audience, okay, you want more, let's do it. And it benefits them, of course, but it benefits me so much. I have to, since I'm going live every morning, girl, guess how much I got to show up in my business every day. It's forcing me to be consistent. It's forcing me to talk to my audience. It's forcing me to get the feedback in real time. It's forcing me to see what type of conversations are really driving engagement with them. It's forcing me to really see what's piquing their interest about Conquer Club. It's making me like really get knee deep into the business. So that was one thing I learned was that my audience was waiting. They was waiting on me. They was waiting on me to make the decision. My audience isn't going to DM me and say, "Hey, Deb, you really should start going live way more often. We really want to see you." No, they're just going to go find a creator that ain't scared to bop. And I'm coming in a season where, baby, I can't be scared to bop. Bop, bop, bop. Girl, you know. Ah, what if your audience is waiting for more? I bet they are. Another mindset shift, I guess, that I really tapped into that's really helping me. And this is stuff that I'm still going through. Okay. I'm not talking to you all the way from the other side. I'm not hello from the other side right now. Okay. I'm knee deep and I'm just telling you about it. And that's me. Oh, girl. Now, this one I can say with my chest out. No lie. Back in a little tight. Organization tight. Experience tight. Second thing is I simplified my business model. Very much something I'm still working through. Very simple model. What does that mean, Deb? It means that I very clearly take you from point A to point B to point C to point D to point E in my business, and I do not veer away from it. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. So, for my business, and I'm going to just spill my tea a little bit just so you can kind of see, or maybe this gives you ideas for your business, okay? Maybe you're a coach and this will help. And this is really kind of described as a sales funnel, but that just sound like a lot right now. So, girl, bye. Like, we're not doing all that. We're not teaching all that. Like, goodbye. So, in my business, it's very simple, right? Y'all know I love a good Monday.com. So, I do use Monday.com as kind of like my home base. So, when I wake up in the morning and I open up the laptop, I go straight to Monday.com. Why do I do that? It makes my business feel like work, which is fantastic. Okay. So I get up. First thing I do, I check the numbers. Now let me tell you about this experience that I curated before I get off top, off sample. So it's um the show or social media content or meet you in person. Those are the three ways we pull you in, right? You see the live show, you like it, right? Then we have a free group for discussion of the show, right? So it's kind of like this on in this ecosystem. So it's the Wake Up and Conquer daily show. Then it's the Wake Up and Conquer Facebook group where everybody can talk and network. Then it is the Conquer Club, which is the group coaching. Then there's Conquer Club Plus, which is 101. And then there's Conquering Cocktails, which is the in-person events. So I have I'm saying simple, but it's really dynamic. And I put a lot of work into it. This is taking years to curate, but it's a very simple business to understand and to explain. I'll say that. So I help women be bold, be consistent, and show up confidently so that they can grow their business. And we do that by way of a daily show. We do that by the way of a free Facebook group. We do that in the way of something like the Conquer Club. We do that through Conquer Club Plus, where you can get 101. And we do that through in-person events by Conquering Cocktails. Is one promise, and you can experience it in the depth or level that you want to. Some people may only come in person. Some people may only come to the show. Some people may dabble into everything. And that has allowed me to slow down, get clear, and only do things that make sense for that umbrella or ecosystem. I call it like an ecosystem. So I'm not trying to pivot or throw spaghetti at a wall or just throw darts in the dark. Like, no, I know what this is. This is either the Wake Up and Conquer show, the free Facebook group, Conquer Club Plus, Conquering Cocktails. Oh, or we got of course, the podcast. This Conquer Conversations. One ecosystem, one umbrella, one business, one promise. That was so good for me. And now my day looks like, okay, if we've got the Wake Up and Conquer show, what are we doing with that? What are we doing with Conquer Club? What are we doing with Conquer Club Plus? What are we doing with the podcast? Wash, rinse, repeat. What do you think about that? Is your business, is it like mine where there's a really simple, like you like sticking to the brand, you sticking to the script? I think I kind of see it like that. I'm sticking to the brand promise. I'm sticking to what Conquer is and what it stands for. It's truly just under the umbrella of what the brand promise is. And that's that we help women entrepreneurs show up boldly, confidently, and consistent so that they can grow their business. I had to share that because I run into a lot of women who are just like me, very passionate about their business. Y'all know I love Conquer so much, I literally got it in blood. For real. Tattooed on me. For real. Yeah, my dog. But that passion is like fog without the back end. And when I say back end, I basically just mean without the stuff that you do behind the scenes. If it's just social media, that was me. Like, I remember when I hired a coach, and she told me this truth bomb, and I thank her for it because it has challenged the way that I grow my business. She was like, this concept is really good. She was like, but to be honest, it's really just a social media page. And I was like, ouch. But she was right. There was no CRM. There was no offline efforts. There were no events. There was no podcast. There was no, like, she was like, the concept of the business is really just what you do on social media. So that's not really a business. And I was like, oh, you're right. Because if you take away my Facebook page, at that time, I really wouldn't have had anything. I mean, I guess I would have had a few emails and stuff from people who had booked appointments, but and it challenged me to see my business differently. It challenged me to start hosting my in-person events. Y'all know I told y'all that's when I was like, oh girl, you think somebody gonna come see me in person? She was like, absolutely, let's do it. You finna play in the first one right now, right here. Let's go. I was like, God dang. She was like, go and start Googling the places right now. Go and find you somewhere to host your first Conquering Cocktails. Go and call the girl to get your flyer. Go on, like, she was like, let's go. This concept is too good for it to just be a social media page. You need events. She was like, you need a Conquer planner. You need, she was like, you need to start going live more. Like, she was like giving it to me. And I was like, now I see. 100% right. So now I feel more proud because it is something so much more dynamic. And I'm not gonna preach the whole, oh, get your business off social media because we don't own them platforms and all. Okay, yeah, whatever. Like, we know that, of course. I get it, but I'm not gonna use it as a scare tactic because I rely on it so much too. I get it. But what I wasn't understanding is what she was really telling me is this business has a lot more potential and you can impact a lot more people if you just stop playing and performing for a timeline all day. You could actually get some stuff done. You can actually make some money. You can actually impact some people. And I was like, girl, I receive that. And that was, it's 2025. That was 2023. And I took that information and I ran with it and I honor her for telling me the truth. Shout out to Nicole. So real. Okay. So in this next season, friend, for one girl, you gotta check out the show. Let me know, have you checked out the Wake Up and Conquer show? It streams on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. And I've got to go to the T-Mobile store because I had me a work phone, but when I flew to Atlanta last year to go speak, I flew there with the work phone. And by the time I got back to the airport a couple of days later, girl, I ain't had a work phone. So I don't know if I lost it or whatever. So I got to go get me another phone because I want to start streaming the show on TikTok also. So the show is every weekday at 11 a.m. Central and it's known for the East Coast girls. So in this next season, let's ask ourselves a couple of things. Is my audience waiting for more and I'm just not giving it to them? And when I say more, I don't mean more content, more stuff to check a box. I mean more as in really leaning into the experience, really leaning into like who you say you are. I remember talking to a young lady and she's so fly. Shout out to you, friend. And she has I don't want to reveal too much detail because I know women really trust me with the conversations that we have. And she has a Christian brand, right? And she sells products. And we were talking about ways for her to really like just lean into it. And I said, now, if you started just doing a Bible study, a virtual, I mean, just got on live and did a scripture of the day, or got on live once a week and did a Bible study. That's the type of leaning into, like, that's you being a walking, talking, living, breathing example of what you talk about. And the products will be a no brainer. Is your audience waiting for more? Kind of like how mine was. Today on the show, I'm only at like a little over 300 views on Facebook because I checked, but that's the fastest and highest amount of views that I've gotten since the show started last week. And I'm here for that. My audience was waiting for more. Is your audience waiting for more? Think about your favorite creator. You're that for somebody. Okay. And then number two, I had to get organized, friend. I had to get a routine. I had to wake up. I had to lean into the numbers, not because girl, them numbers was low. I was like, girl, now look, I ain't trying to be looking at my score dashboard, girl. I be pulling up score, clicking off that home page so fast because I don't want to see the balance here is $42. I don't got time for that. That's gonna disrupt my. That's gonna mess up my manifestation and my vibe I got going on. But I had to put on my big girl panties and say, no, look at the numbers every day. Track what you're making every day, even if it's nothing. Track what you're making every week. Track how many calls you're booking. Track how many of those calls show up. This is the type of stuff that I'm doing in my business behind the scenes. I was like, oh, this is what's building momentum. Not, oh, did I post or this? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to share today. This episode was short and sweet. But I just had to come in and talk about the shifts that the girls like me are experiencing. Business is good, the passion is high, but we want stronger. Oh, so sorry, friend. Sorry, girl. And I'm not gonna edit that out, girl. Please forgive me, okay? I just had a little piece of chicken. So um yeah, like we're ready to do this. Long term, I'm not pivoting and changing businesses every 5 minutes. I need a routine that I can conquer long term. I need a routine that I can conquer every day. I need a routine that I can do when life is life in. And y'all know life came in and slapped me upside the head. Literally almost 2 months ago when my daddy passed away. Literally feels like it happened last week. I'm looking at the date like, oh my God, it's been almost 2 months. So our takeaway message today is are we able to lead by example? If you're a fitness trainer and you work out every day, are you leading by example and showing it, leaning into it? Like me, I preach consistency, I preach confidence, but I had to ask myself, are you really leaning into that? Or you just talking about it? If you're one of the financial girlies, do you just talk about it or do you live it? Do you sit down and budget every week? If so, let us see those budget planning sessions. Okay? All right. I know my voice was all low, like the man on the radio in the car. But girl, I just had to say that. So cheers to you. You already know the vibes when you wake up tomorrow. Make sure you conquer something. And thank you so much, girl. If you enjoyed this episode, you was like, it was a little short and sweet now, but I'm gonna give you a pass. Okay. Well, I just had to share that. So I'm diving into my live show. So make sure you come check them out on all of my platforms. You can find me Deb Lester or Conquer with Deb on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and we'll be on TikTok. And of course, we stream on LinkedIn too. So, okay, I got to get ready for Conquer Club, friend. I will see you next Tuesday. We'll dive deeper into something. But thank you for tuning in to Conquer Conversations, girl. You already know the vibes. Make sure you wake up tomorrow and conquer something. And I will see you next week, friend.